you see Shoeonhead's tweet? I saw it. The thing is that like if the DSA doesn't want to do anything with me because of either my past political takes or because of or for whatever reason, or even because they don't think I'm a socialist, I don't think that's a problem. That's fine. If that's like their position, I don't think there's a problem with that. But the only thing I was irritated was that they tweeted out from that account. They called me a fucking Nazi today. That was my only issue. But otherwise, yeah, it's not like, I don't think it's like the end of the world. It's not like that big of a deal. What do you think of people describing you as far left? Everybody will describe whoever they want as whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting world.
You know what they say about liberals, right? Scratch a liberal, a fascist, please. Destiny is not a leftist. He's a lib who got scratched, and now everyone can see.
Even beyond any of this, where is the evidence that allying with Destiny would have produced anything, any sort of material results? Like, just as an example, you want to know who he supported in the primaries? Fucking John Delaney.
Wait, when did I support Delaney? Why do I hear so much random shit about me?
If that, in and of itself, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That
you're saying?
Oh my god!
Look
Look at all the cope here. All of these people are like crying internally so hard because they're still actually ass mad out the universe that Bernie didn't make it, and they're trying to like, well, at least that guy supported Delaney. What the fuck? They could have at least gone with the Pete Buttigieg one, because a lot of people are like, oh, he loves Pete Buttigieg, because I said like 3 nice things. But I think I said some nice things about almost everybody running in the thing, but okay. Oh, I know why. It's because Hassan amplified the initially he did it ironically and then didn't realize that it was actually correct. I made so many good calls during the whole primary season. What a meme. I'll give my, I guess I'll go over kind of my general, I think I kind of gave it before. Oh, I'm sorry, to be clear, because a lot of you guys get really triggered when I say certain things. I'm not evaluating this as like, these are the candidates that I like. He said the thing that I like. They said something I didn't like. I'm just kind of looking at this as like, how do I think like the average viewer who's not as plugged into political stuff is going to listen to this and go away with it? That's kind of like the general viewpoint that I take of this. I know that some of you are ultra ass pained every single time I say like, oh, Bernie should have done this, or that was a good response because it's like against Bernie or some shit. I don't give a fuck about that. That's not what I'm really looking at right now. It felt like people weren't really reaching to the Biden thing too much. It felt like the bigger things were the progressive, non-progressive divide is kind of what felt like a big thing here with Delaney versus like Warren and Sanders. that or at least over the health insurance thing, that seemed to be like a pretty big thing going on. I thought that me and Stahl both thought that Warren would do better here and that Bernie would kind of fall a little. I don't know. Bernie brought a lot of fire to this one in the first half especially. He didn't do as much in the second half. His closing statement was pretty good. I don't know if Warren or Bernie will significantly change after this. It's hard to say. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I thought that Pete's performance was good. He had a lot of like good one-liners and a lot of memorable quotes, I think. But Delaney had like the standout. I think Delaney, like, whether you like him or don't like him, I don't remember anything. I don't remember fucking anything from Delaney during the first round of debates, like at all. I think that Pete did decently, and then between Warren and Bernie, I'm not sure. I don't know if either of their positions will change much. He got wrecked by Warren. Did he get wrecked in that exchange? I think Warren had one really good snap at him. What was it? Hold on. It was one of her responses. Oh, Warren snapped there to Delaney. Delaney was really good. That was a really good, really strong one.
They really work.
This was probably one of the strongest snaps in the whole debate, if not the strongest like one-liner in the whole debate. That and then man, Pete had a couple of good ones. I thought this was a pretty strong one. There are kids that are going to someday we're going to turn on the news and somebody's going to die in Afghanistan that wasn't even born in 9/11. I thought that was pretty memorable, and I thought that was a good one.
Sub to Bernie instead.
Yeah, Bernie's I wrote the damn bill was probably up there too. That was a really good one. Delaney responded with Social Security didn't make pensions illegal. That was a really good response, but Warren's snap was so good. I don't know if Delaney's response there would have landed as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, Marianne was good in the last half. Although I don't. She's like a huge meme. She's She's like a very big meme at this point, so I'm not sure.
Delaney has no shot, so he just went in
Thank you for
swinging
your
at anyone
opinion.
he could,
It is
and he
much
actually was able to
appreciated.
deal some body blows, to
Yeah.
use really stupid boxing analogies.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, I think I was shocked at the amount of, I think he was even shocked at the amount of time he got to speak, and he actually
Yeah.
he seemed visibly concerned about how much time he was getting. He didn't know what to do with it, but I think he actually did okay, and his strongest moment was probably the one you're talking about.
I actually feel like I actually feel like he had the standout performance tonight. Not necessarily that he's going to be like the most popular person after this debate, but considering that in the first handful of debates and in the first two, whenever he was on, I don't remember anything about him. He was totally lackluster, whatever. I don't think he has the greatest timbre in his voice. I don't know.
No.
Like when I watch him, I feel like I'm watching like a presentation from like E3. He just has that kind of like presenter voice. But man, he like you said, he did a lot of damage in that health insurance argument, and attacking a couple of other people and kind of establishing himself. He felt like the Biden of this debate stage, like firmly planting himself as a strong moderate that wasn't going to like attack people's insurance options, and somebody that would represent like kind of the more center-leaning moderate part of the Democratic electorate. That's what I really felt like he was trying to do, and it felt like he did a good job of that in a couple parts of this debate. Warren killed Delaney with, I don't understand why anybody goes to all the trouble of running for president in the United States just to talk about what we really can't do and shouldn't fight for. Yeah, that was the best one-liner of the night for sure. Delaney's response was strong. I don't think it was as strong as Warren's snap, though. I thought Elizabeth Warren, when she brought up her 2 cents, I thought that was good. I thought that when she was like, listen, your first 50 million, you can keep it. I need 2 cents of every, or whatever. Like mathematically, she could have said it better, but rhetorically, I thought it was good. Yeah, I'm guessing she meant like 2 cents per dollar or 2% per dollar or whatever. But I don't know. A 2% wealth tax or some shit. I would expect to see tonight. Here, I'll make an expectation of other communities. I would expect to see anybody that has a progressive lean to be insanely ass-pained about Delaney's performance tonight. Delaney brought up a lot of very good challenges to the progressive side of the argument tonight, and I would expect progressives to be insanely ass-pained about it. The nixing private insurance, we've talked about this so many times. Nixing private insurance is not the way to go. That is not going to be the way to go in the general. Oh my God, I can already see the attack ads playing like so hard on that. Oh my God, and Delaney's, I didn't even consider the idea that like unions who would have spent so much time negotiating like health insurance packages, and then like ripping that away in the form of Medicare for all, even if it does end up being better, man, that was a strong challenge. And then attacking kind of like the isolationist policies that Bernie and Warren are advocating for were pretty decent attacks. To be fair, the CNN guys were really biased in their questioning and deliberately challenging the progressive talking points. Yes, they were. Multiple CNN questions here were definitely targeting. Well, I mean, obviously, what was the one? Do you think that Sanders is pushing the campaign too far to the left? That was a question that they asked almost every person. Destiny true, nuclear take.
I get the desire to consider the general electorate. But what do you think general Democratic primary voter will think? Great stream, buddy.
Something that a lot of online progressives don't understand is that the general Democratic electorate is far more moderate than the online Democratic movement. So if you go online and you look at Democratic politics online, the Democratic Party is like a fucking stone's throw away from going full socialist. They're ready for the fucking socialist revolution. They're fucking they've got fucking Das Kapital in one hand, the Communist Manifesto the other. They're ready to march down the streets and fucking overthrow on behalf of the proletariat. Like that's like what online like Democrats like. The real life Democratic electorate is like, I think like 50% like identify themselves as like somewhat conservative. Like it is way more moderate. There's a reason why Biden pulls ahead of every other progressive. And then also the moderates, or not moderates, the independents, I think, obviously favor moderate Democratic candidates far more as well. Destiny, wait until progressives see 53% of black people are supporting Biden. Yeah. 10%. Yeah, fuck. We had the polling data on the other day. I don't have it right now, but somebody said 10% of Democrats consider conservative. 40% of them consider themselves moderate. Yeah. Someone edited John Delaney's wiki.
Ye versus Pepe. Pepe wins.
Nice. Why do we need to give up private insurance to get MFA, Medicare for all anyway? I'm not 100% sure, but it's kind of like it's the difference between building on the ACA. It's the difference between building on the ACA and wiping it away and do everything else. Oh my God, that was another Delaney attack where he said Democrats want to do the same thing as Republicans, which is repeal and replace. Damn, that was a really big hit too. Delaney's voice is not that great though, so yeah, I'm not sure. Every progressive is going to be super ass pain about Delaney. I already know that's going to be true.
And I guess Elizabeth Warren had a really good like mic drop thing.
It was when Delaney was pointing out some of the problems of implementing progressive policy, and then Warren came back and she's like, I don't know why people are up here running for president talking about all the things we can't do. It was a really good zinger.
Yeah.
Delaney's response was really good too, though, but I don't know if it mattered because Warren's was such a zinger.
What was his response?
He said that the cutting private insurance to give Medicare for all would be the equivalent of cutting pensions to give Social Security. I think it speaks to a fear that a lot of Americans have about losing their private insurance, which is something that polls really poorly with Americans when you bring that up. If you have to lose your private insurance for Medicare for all, people start to feel a lot differently for it. I think in the general, we're definitely going to see those attacks from Republicans.
So you just kind of like where he took the conversation tonight?
I don't know if I necessarily like that. I just think he did well. I don't necessarily like the guy. I just think he had
from like a debate standpoint.
Yeah, from like a public optics standpoint, I think he had a good performance.
I think I mean, if that's where you're going with it, just from his, he had definitely a better showing than the first time around.
Sure. 100%. I don't even remember him from the first time, and I watched both debates. He was like super forgettable the first time. People definitely know who he is now.
Yeah.
I said that, so Delaney was the first person, I think, that really went in on the, I don't know if socialized healthcare is good, like that people lose their private insurance. I think that the quote that everybody attributed to me that I think I said was like, Delaney made some really effective attacks against the Medicare for All tonight, and everybody was making fun of me for it. But that actually became like one of the biggest talking points for the, one of the biggest talking points later on for a lot of the debates was the difference between Medicare for All and Medicare for All Who Want It, or the expanded ACA or whatever. But yeah. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed. Are you really that confident that anyone? Yeah, of course not. He has no chance.
What a fucking idiot. People like Destiny, which represent about 3% of the electorate. You know, the neolibs. Nobody's a fucking neolib in reality. They're not actual voters.